Hey guys, DarkMata from Bedlam Brothers here, and welcome to the Dr. Fate episode of School of Legends. Today, I'm going to be looking at Dr. Fate, who can be purchased for 85 marks of legend from the Legends vendor. Fate's movement mode is flight. The only thing to mention with flight is that you can click in and out of supersonic speed. Dr. Fate's health is 6,224. This is roughly 10% lower than the base level of HP for characters I've tested so far. As with all characters, blocking counters your opponent's lunge attacks. Throughout the series you'll see each character's lunges, so take note and learn when to block. For Dr. Fate, his combat style is the hand blasters. His lunge moves you closer to the target and counters any range attacks. Hand blasters have a number of block breakers. Tapping ranged attack will not block break, but every other range move in his combat tab will block break an opponent. Here you can see a few of them, but definitely take the time to experiment with them and find out which ones you like and which ones work for you. Be aware though, as all of these moves are vulnerable to being lunged. As always, you should take a moment to look at Fate's combat list and get familiar with it to become more effective at hand-to-hand combat. Hand blasters have limited melee combos. The only one of note is called Uppercut. This is a 5-hit combo that activates a lunge on the 3rd hit and deals a fair amount of damage. This combo can be clipped, cutting the animation short, allowing you to get started on your next attack. This combo is vulnerable to being blocked. While there isn't a huge range of melee combos on the hand blasters, it does have a very interesting combo that mixes both range and melee attack. You can see it here in the combo list as Power Discharge. It's interesting for a number of reasons. Firstly, it's a block breaking combo. And secondly, you can clip out of the lengthy animation with a might based power move, all without cancelling the damage from Power Discharge. You can even stack more precision moves, all whilst Power Discharge is applying its initial damage. This gets off a very high amount of damage in a short space of time, but be careful, as the whole time you're performing this clip combo, you will be vulnerable to being lunged. It is important to vary between melee and range attacks in order to trick your opponent and make sure you win the counter for your immunities. Moving on to Fate's power moves starting from left to right. Fate's first move is called Fateful Blast. This is a single target move that causes a knockdown and basic damage. His second move is Cleansing Blast. This is an AoE that will apply a stun and cause basic damage. This move is usable while controlled. His next move is called Circle of Judgement. This creates a circle around the target that causes damage over time, a stun and a debuff to all hostile targets in the circle. The debuff reduces damage output by 10%. It's a strong move to use against a clustered group of targets but has a lengthy cooldown. Dr. Fate's fourth move is called Displacer Orbs. This is a single target move that will pester your target with orbs from the sky. The orbs will drop for about 30 seconds, causing damage and a knockdown every time they hit. Once this move has locked on, it cannot be escaped. His next move is one of his summons. The first summon is his Sentinel of Punishment. This pet will attack your opponent and is able to juggle and knock them down. This pet comes out with roughly 400 HP. And his last move is his second summon. This calls out his second pet, which will attack your opponents, juggle them and knock them down. It will also cast a damage over time move, affecting all nearby enemies, and even gives Fate the ability to ignore damage at random. This pet comes out with a health stat of about 300, so it's a little weaker than his first summon, but given the fact it does group damage over time and allows Dr. Fate to ignore selective damage, I can't see why you'd ever want to summon the Sentinel of Punishment over this one. Overall, Dr. Fate is a very interesting character in Legends. He has an extremely strong damage over time from his Displacer Orbs, and his Circle of Judgement can be very useful in group fights. his HP is a little low, but with his strong DOTs and his pet that lets him ignore damage, he can definitely make up for it. If you can master his specialist moves and make the most of his very clippable hand blaster weapon, you can be a true force in the Legends arena. So why not give Fate a go and leave a comment to let me know how you got on. As always, check the video description, where I'll keep you up to date with any changes that might happen to this character in future patches. Until next time, stay legendary.